Hi student, yesterday we have start our topic. It's a real number. In yesterday class, we have discussed about the definition of real number. Then we have see that the our theorem. It's a fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Before seeing theorem, we have discussed about the concept of prime numbers and composite numbers there. Then we have seen that what is our fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Our fundamental theorem of arithmetic guarantee that each and every composite number can be expressed as a product of its primes, and this factorization is what it's a unique apart from order. Then we have discussed the basic concept of to find out LCF and LCM by using prime factorization, and lastly we have discussed about the concept we verified on last that's the product of HCF and LCM of two numbers A B is equal to the product of numbers there, but and also then we have verified that it cannot be applicable on the three numbers there. And then look again we are come to the point of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Yesterday we have discussed that it's about every composite number can be expressed as a product of its primes, and this factorization is unique apart from order. Then look, I'm going to discuss with one of the application based problem which based on our fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Let's start it. So we have to show that 6 to power n cannot end with the digit 0. What do we have to show that? We have to show that 6 to power n cannot end with the digit 0, where our n is belongs to n. N is where our natural number. Look, what do you have to show here? We have to show that 6 to power n cannot end with the digit 0 for each and every n belongs to n there. For every n belongs to n there. Then look, how can we show that our 6 to power n cannot end with the digit 0? To show in general way, I am going to show in that, but n is rational number. This means 6 to power 1 6, 6 to power 2 is 36, 6 to power 3 is 216, and so on. But look, this is not the correct way to solve at your 10th level, because if or you are going to solve using this method, then you can use basic methods at the level of class 7th and 8th there, then it's applicable there. But at level of class 10th, you have to be, I told you, this is the problem belongs to our fundamental theorem of arithmetic, then we have to be use their fundamental theorem of arithmetic. And look now, how can we solve it? We are just going to assume that, just going to suppose that 6 to power n can end with our digit 0. Look, when we suppose that 6 to power n end with the digit 0, then go to your basics. Whenever we have a numbers like with end with the digit 0, then it's a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and so on. All these numbers are divisible by 5. Means we can say that 5 is one of the factor of the numbers with end with the digit 0 there. Then here when I am going to suppose that 6 to power n end with the our digit 0 there, then it implies that 5 is one of the factor it's weak. But when we are going to be find out the factors of 6, prime factors of 6, then we see that its only factors are what, 2 and 3. 5 is not there, and our fundamental theorem of arithmetic guarantee that every composite number can be expressed as a product of its primes, and the factorization is unique apart from order. but we assume that 5 is one of the factor, but in prime factor 6 does not have a 5 there. Hence our supposition is wrong there. Hence our supposition is wrong, and 6 to power n cannot end with the digit 0. Then how can we look? How can we express this? To express one, thus we have to. How can we write it? Just start it in solution. Because I'm explain you how can we solve it. But when you are going to express, we start it. If 6 to power n end with the digit 0, we suppose that if our 6 to power n end with the digit 0, then what happened? For some, we take some n belongs to n, because it's we have to take n belongs to n there. Then what happens? What is your second statement? Then 6 to power n is divisible by 5. Then our 6 to power n is divisible by 5. It's divisible by 5. Then what is the means of divisible by 5? Means therefore we can say that prime factors of 6 to power n contain, since we have seen here 5 is divisible by 5, then the prime of factor of 6 to power, we can say that a prime factor of 6 to power n contains, what is contains? The 5 there contains the prime number 5. Look, we suppose that if our 6 to power n end with digit 0 for some n to n, then 6 to power n is divisible by 5. Means prime factors of 6 to power n contain the prime number, our prime number 5 there. Now look up, but when we are going to check that the factors of prime factors of 6, what do you look at? What we looked at when we are going to take the factors of 6, or it's contain only 2 and 3. It's contain only 2 and 3. Then, but we have to be right here. It contains the prime number 5. Then we have to what? This is not possible because this is not possible because by fundamental theorem of arithmetic, the prime factors of 6 to power n contains 2 and 3 only. But this is not possible because by fundamental theorem of arithmetic, the prime factors of 6 to power n contains 2 and 3 only. Then and the prime factors of it's guaranteed that the prime factors of natural number is unique. We can also mention here, and prime factors of each we can say prime factors of each natural number is unique. Also it's unique. It's contained 2 and 3. It's also unique there by the guarantees of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. It's guaranteed that. Then what will happen there? For no natural number 6 to power, then we can from here we say that for no natural number, there is not any single natural number 6 to power n will end with the digit 0. Then now what is our last statement? Therefore, for no natural number n belongs to n, for there is no natural number for n belongs to n, 6 to power n end with the digit 0. Now look, this is the way of writing. You can also, if you are able to understand the concept, then you write it's on your own words there, easily there. You can verify that. Look, again I am going to revise you. Yesterday we have discussed our fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Then we have seen the statement of fundamental of theorem of arithmetic, that every composite number can be expressed as a product of its primes. We have seen there, and then this factorization is unique apart from order there. Now we have one of the application based question is that what we have to show here, so that 6 to power n cannot end with the digit 0 for given n belongs to n. Then what do we do to show this? We are in solution part. Just we are going to check that if 6 to power n end with the digit 0 for some n belongs to n. Now we have a axiom here, it's end with our digit 0 there. Then 6 to power n is divisible by 5. If any digit there, any number there which end with the digit 0, we have so many examples, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 and 100 and so on. All these numbers are divisible by 5. We have write down here, if possible, suppose that our 6 to power n end with the digit 0 for some n belongs to n. Then our 6 to power n is what? It's divisible by 5. Now it's divisible by 5, then the prime factor of 6 to power n contains the prime number 5. Because any number is divisible, any number can divide any number, then it's one of the factors there. Then 5 is one of the prime factor of 6 to power n if it's divisible by 5. But this is not possible, because by fundamental theorem of arithmetic, the prime factor of 6 to power n contains, what's it's contain? 2 and 3 only, and prime factors of each natural number is unique. Our fundamental theorem of arithmetic guarantee that, means 5 is cannot be there in the factors of 6. Therefore, for no natural number n belongs to n, 6 to power n end with the digit 0. Then what we are going to suppose, that what our supposition there is totally wrong there. For any there is not a single natural number for which our 6 to power n going to be end with the digit 0 there. Okay. Then I hope so all of you understand that. Please, there is one of the solve problem in NCERT textbook 4 to power n. Please go through it and solve in this similar manner. You can solve it in the similar manner what we have done here. Now let's we take some other example to explain you. Look, one of the we have the problem. Find the LCM and SCF of 26 and 91. Find LCM and SCF of. We have to find the LCM and SCF of. We have taken one of the NCERT problem there. 26 and 91. Find the LCM and SCF of 26 and 91, and then verify that. Then verify that, what is verified here? LCM into SCF is equal to product of two numbers. Then we have to verify that our LCM and SCF of is product of two numbers. Now we have to find the LCM and SCF, but we have to only use here what prime factors method there. Then we are going to write down 26, write down 91 here. What is the prime factor of 26? It's about 2 into 13, 26. What's about 91? Start from 3. Sorry, so not start from 3 because it's a 91, 9 plus 1, 10. It's now divisible by 3, then a 91. We have to go to from 7. 717, yes. Then we have 7 into 13. Now look up, it's a prime factors are there. 2 into 13. Now for what is SCF? For SCF we check the lowest power of common primes number there. Then common numbers are 13 there. Only 13 is common number there. Any numbers are not common then what is our SCF? Then SCF of 26 and 91, 13 and the lowest power of 13 is 13 power 1. Then we have get the SCF of 26 and 91 is what? It's a 13. Now we get the SCF. Now but look, we have to find out LCM there. How can we get LCM? How can we get LCM? For LCM we are just saying the all the numbers with greatest power there. Look, what we have? We have 13 and then we have left 2 primes, 2 and 7 also there. Then for LCM what we have? 13 into 2 into 7. Then what do we get? It's a 14. 14 into 30 is what? It's a 182. Into 7, 7, 6, 42, 4. Yes, it's a 182. Now we get here LCM. We get our SCF there. LCM of 26 and 19 is what? It's a 182. Now we have SCF. We have LCM. Now we have to verify here. Then SCF into LCM. Now we have to 182 into 13. And how much we get? 13 into 26, carry 3. Then 13 into 8. 13 into 26, carry 2. 13, 8, 104. 104 plus 206. Carry 10. Then 13, 1, 13. 10. 23. Then our product is what? SCF into LCM is what? It's a 2, 3, 6, 6. Now we get the product of SCF into LCM now. We are going to get product of numbers. What of our products are? What our numbers are there? 26 into 91. Look, we have multiplied with 26 191 there. 26 and 91, 16. Then what we get? 2 and 54 carry 6. Then 9 to 18 plus 5. We get 2, 3, 6, 6. Now look, our product of number is also 2, 3, 6, 6. Our product of LCF into LCM is also 2, 3, 6, 6. From 1 and 2, what do we verify that? From 1 and 2 verify that LCM into SCF is equal to product of 2 numbers. Look, we have a problem that we have to find out the LCM of 26 and 91. Then we have to verify here product of numbers is equal to product of their SCF into LCM. Now first of all we are going to find out its SCF by prime factors method and LCM. Then we verify that the product of its SCF and LCM is equal to the product of numbers. Now look, take another questions from your NCERT text, and what is given there? It's given that SCF of, it's given there. We have given that SCF of 2 numbers, 306 and 657. SCF of 306 and 657 is given 9 there. Then it's asked that find the LCM of 306 and 657. Now it's asked about it's given there. The HCF of two numbers is 9. Then we have to find the LCM of these given numbers. Then obviously before just in previous example we have verified there for two numbers the HCF and LCM of the product of HCF and LCM of two numbers is always equal to the product of their numbers. Then in last ones we have verified that we are going to use the verification concept here. We have two numbers 306 and 657 which LCF is 9 given there. Then we have to find out LCM there. Then what is our what we have? We have HCF into LCM is what equal to? Is equal to 306 and into 657. Product of HCF and LCM is equal to the product of the numbers. We have HCF 9. Then what is then LCM of 306 657 is what from here 306 into 657 upon 9. It's a 339 313 0326 339 34. Then we have 34 into 657. We have to multiply 657 into 34. Then we are going to multiply with 657 into 34. 4 7 28 2 4 5 20 and 22 2 4 6 24 2 6 7 3 21 and then carries 5 15 17 1 6 18 19 8 3 3 3. Then what do we get? We get here 2. We get here 2 2 3 3 8. We what we get? We get here when we are going to multiply 657 and 34, we get 2 2 3 3 8. Again we verify that it's 8 2 1 3 7 6 30 9 2 11 1 12. Okay. We get 2 2 3 3 8. Look, again I am going to revise this one. We have given a HCF of 306 and 657 is 9. We have to find out its LCM. Then in our last question we have verified that the HCF and LCM, the product of HCF and LCM is what? Is equal to the product of the numbers there. Then we are verifying by verifying condition we have started, since we know that HCF into LCM is equal to product of two numbers. We have HCF 9 into LCM of numbers is equal to 306 into 657. Then LCM is given by product of number divided by their HCF. After solving, what we get? We get our required LCM of 306 and 657 is what? It's a 22338. Then I hope so all of you understand that. Look again, take another problem to explain you. Now look, explain why we have to explain here why 7 into 11 into 13. We have 7 into 11 into 13 plus 13. We have to explain here the given number is what? We have to explain that it's a composite number. Now look, we have to show here the 7 into 11 into 13 plus 13 is a composite number. Now look how what is our composite number? To show for a given any numbers for a composite number, we have to show that it has more than two factors there. If we are able to prove that the given number having more than two factors, then automatically this number is what? It's a composite number there. Then first of all we are going to find out the number here. Look, take 13 common there, then 7 into 11. We are going to take common from 30 plus 1 and then into 13. And look what we get. We get 77 here plus 1. 78 into 30 Now we can factorize our 78. 2 into 39. Then we get 2 into 39 into 30. Also we can break this 39 by 3 into 13. 3 into 13 into 13. Now look. Our 7 into 11 into 13 and then 13. Now it's can be expressed as a prime factors. Look, how many numbers are there? 2, 3 and 13. Its factors contain 2, 3 and 13. Then what's your answer? Then our number is what? Since it's a product of prime numbers of 2, 3 and 13 are prime number. That's why this is our composite number. Why? Because it has more than 2 factors, the given number. We can easily verify here. Our number is what? It's the number is the prime factors of number is what? 2, 3 and 13. It's more than 2 factors. Then therefore our given number is what? It's a composite number because it has more than 2 factors. It's contain the factors contain the prime. Its prime factors contain 2, 3 and 13 there. Then take another problem. It's given that there is a circular path around a sports field. Sonia takes 80 minutes to drive 1 round. It's given that there is a circular path here. It's given there. What is given up? There is a circular path around a sports field. Sonia takes 80 minutes to drive 1 round of the field. There is Sonia, we start from A, then let's come to again the point A. Then Sonia takes 1 round of this sport track in 18 minutes. In 18 minutes. Now Sonia takes to complete 1 round, 18 minutes. Then is our given that also given that while Ravi takes 12 minutes for the same, it's given that when Ravi starts from A and comes to the again point A, then Ravi takes 12 minutes. Ravi takes 12 minutes for 1 round. Now then it's given in the problem. Suppose they both start at the same point and at the same time and go in the same direction. After how many times will they meet again the starting point? What is asking? That's they start with point A. Both they start with the point A and start in the same direction. They move in the same direction. Then in problem is asking that in what time they are again come to the same point A there. What is the time when they meet at the same point A from where they are started? Then now look, how can we find out the spending time when they again going to meet the starting point A there? Then look, to find out, then what do you have to find out? Look, here we have only a concept of SCF and LCM. SCF is what? It's a number which basically divides the given numbers. LCM is what? The number, it's a list number which are divisible by both the numbers there. To look at then the time whatever they spend to, obviously the list time at what they are going to meet again same there. It's the time which are divisible by the numbers 18 and 12 obviously. That's why they complete the distances are equal there. Then what we have to get? Yes, we are going to find out LCM of the 18 and 12. Since what we have get there, they will to find out they will meet again. They will meet again. To find out when they will meet again, we have to calculate the LCM of 18 and 12. To find the time when they are going to be meet together, or they are going to be meet at the same point there, then we have to find out the LCM of 18 and 12. What is the factors of 18? 2 into 3 into 3. What is the factors of 12? 2 into 3. Then what is the LCM? LCM can be common, the greatest power is 2, then we have only 2. Then we have again 2 there and common on 3 there. Look, we have take this 2, this 3, then we have remains 1, 2 and 1, 3 there. And what we have? 4 and 9. 36. What is what? LCM is what? It's a 36. We get, look, we can also write down, it's a 2 into 3 square and it's a what? 2 square into 3. To get the LCM, what we require the, look here with 2 and the highest power of 2 is what? 2 square. We get this 2. Highest power 3 is what? 3 square. We get both. Then what LCM is what? 36. What is what 36? It's a minute. Means after 36 minutes, they are again at the starting point from where they are start. Okay, this is enough for today class. I hope so all of you are again enjoyed all the questions which I have discussed to you. Thanks to all and please go get through it and practice it at your home.